Hey guys, Sherry here. So I've had a lot of questions recently about foam rolling. And when I Google or look up foam rolling on YouTube, I'm finding really unsafe and ineffective ways to foam roll. So I just wanted to show you some proper technique for foam rolling. Today I'm going to cover three topics actually. Today I'm going to cover types of foam rollers, and then I'm going to show you proper foam rolling technique, and then I'm going to cover a couple different muscle groups that you can foam roll effectively. So first off, types of foam rollers. I have a couple different types here, and then I can describe to you some other types. This is a nice travel foam roller. It's a PVC pipe covered in padding, and this is great for traveling because it's hollow and you can pack stuff in the middle. It doesn't take up much space. It's pretty lightweight. You can put it even into like a small carry-on bag. This is the general foam roller that I use, and it is longer, and it's made of a pretty firm styrofoam material, and I like this. It is pretty durable, and I've had it for many years, and it is still looking like brand new. But I will say that if you are especially sensitive, there are foam rollers that are much softer material, and they are still effective for foam rolling. And if you find that this type of foam roller is too much, you might want to get one of those softer foam rollers, because if you use it more frequently, then it is worth it. And they're a little more expensive, but it's worth it. These are great foam rollers for if you can get down onto the ground. There is something that hooks onto a wall, and I think onto a door frame, and you can lean against it, and it has rollers on it. So that's if you can't get to the floor. But today I'm just going to be showing floor foam rolling technique for you, and I'm just going to use this foam roller. I'm going to start off with a calf foam roll technique to show you, and basically what I want to show you is different than what you're going to see on other YouTube videos, because it's not as sexy and it's not as fun. You're just going to hang out. And so for the purpose of this muscle group I'm targeting right now is my calf, and specifically this bottom leg calf. And you want to relax your ankle, and you want to roll until you find the spot that's tender or sensitive, and then hang out there. And you might hang out here by counting slow breaths, like 5 to 6 slow breaths, or maybe you want to hang out here until you feel some release in the calf muscle, or some relief of the tension in the calf. It might be a minute, it might be 3 minutes. I often will foam roll while I'm on the phone with a friend, or I'm listening to a podcast or the news. And so I'm not trying to make this the moment of my day. I sometimes do it while I'm watching TV because it doesn't require much brain power, and it does require time and release and time. So I've let that release a little bit there, and then I'm just gonna move to a new spot. So it's not exciting, it's not flashy, it's certainly not entertaining to watch somebody foam roll, but this is the action. And what you want to do is give your muscle and the connective tissue surrounding your muscle the time to relax and the okay to relax, because a lot of times these connective tissues are tight because there's adhesions that have formed from injury or just from tightness. And allowing them to release and relax slowly is going to be more effective for long-term flexibility and long-term mobility. So when you are allowing these adhesions and these and this connective tissue to release, you can relax, you can breathe, you can then immediately following the foam rolling, you can work on your flexibility by stretching. So I recommend doing something like this first, and then stretching in a traditional way where you're pulling into a range of motion and holding that range of motion, and doing that directly afterwards. So I'm just going to go one more position here on my calf for now, just to show you just like in real time what it looks like. And if you have particularly tender calves, which this is a really common area for foam rolling, you might want to start at the base of your ankle and slowly work your way up your calf over the course of maybe 10 minutes, and then start back at the base of your ankle and tip a little bit to the side, like the angle toward maybe the inside of your calf. And then maybe you might want to do all the way up the calf, taking 10 more minutes, and then do the outside of your calf, taking 10 more minutes. So it could take very well a half hour to do one calf if you're really, if you have the time, and if you have especially tender calves, it's going to be super effective for you. And then you can do the other leg, and again, that might take 30 more minutes. You know, that's why I'm saying multitask this with something else, so that you're not trying to carve out an hour in your day, right? That's absurd for all of us. But I do find that this technique is maybe even more effective than getting a massage. And it's certainly more cost effective than getting a massage. And it's certainly something that I know I can schedule into my life more easily than getting a massage. So this is the technique for calf foam rolling. I want to also show you IT band, just the positioning for it. So IT band runs down the outside of your leg. And so you want to position the outside of your hip on the foam roller. I've got my elbow on the floor here, my foot on the floor here, up and over, and then my foot on the floor over there. And I'm just going to, again, it's very boring to watch, but I'm going to slowly roll until I find the spot that is tender and sensitive, and then I just kind of want to breathe and hang out on that spot. And so I know it's called foam rolling, and that implies that it's like rolling out cookie dough, but the action of foam rolling is basically just hanging out. So it should be called like foam hanging out. It's not as catchy, right? But they call it foam rolling. You only roll to the spot that's tender and that needs to find release, and then you allow gravity and your breath to make the release happen over the foam roller, and then you roll on finally to the next spot. So there is the position for IT band. That's a nice effective one, and of course you could do both sides, both legs there. Here's the position for your glute. So you cross one ankle over the opposite knee and kind of tip toward that ankle. You can even reach the arm up and over and lean into that. And in each of these positions, this is the general position, and if I'm doing this on my own, I'm searching for the spot that feels tender, that feels like it needs the release, and then I hang out there. So there's not an exact science to where to foam roll, like the positioning. It's really up to you. It's very individual. This is the glute positioning, right? Quad positioning. Next, I'll show you this. It's a little more tricky to show you because of the placement of the legs. So I'm going to have one knee up and forward and the other leg extended long. And I'm going to start with the quad muscle at the bottom of the quad and have this back leg extended. And yeah, I think you can see that. Okay. So I'm relaxing the quad over the top of the foam roller and just letting gravity release. And then you would back up as you work your way up your quad with the foam roller. Again, stopping, hanging out, breathing as you work. And then there's the lat that you might want to target that's underneath here. And you can do that with your foam roller underneath your armpit and the arm extended long. I'm kind of chest up to the ceiling a little bit, and I'm kind of trying to target right there underneath the armpit, and again trying to roll until I find that spot. Oh, there we go. That feels tender, and that might be preventing my arm from having full range of motion up to the ceiling, which often tight lats do. So there are some couple of, a handful of places that you might want to target with your foam roller, and also what it really looks like to foam roll. If you're looking at a video on YouTube where the person is moving back and forth vigorously, it could end up irritating your muscles and tightening them up more than loosening them and releasing them, which I think is the ultimate goal with foam rolling. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm here. I'll see you next time. Bye.